Player 4. Press start to join.
Okay, welcome to Press Start to Join, podcast where you're Player 4. I'm Alan.
Josh.
I'm Mike.
Got a pretty good show for you today. I'm going to be talking a bit about Microsoft and the supreme fuck-up that is their DRM and then Complete 180. And then, because I'm probably going to keep that short, might go into casual gaming and why it's not so casual anymore. Josh?
Oh, I'm going to talk about Judge Dredd because I've been reading the original 2080 comics Dredd, and I've been loving it.
I'm kind of long-winded, and during our 80s thing, I referenced some things that I talk about later. One of those was James versus James. That's Cameron versus Cameron. Why I love James Cameron and why I hate him. Because young James Cameron's awesome, and old James Cameron sucks.
I concur.
Are we introducing Player 4 right now, too?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. And our Player 4 today is Dana M. She asks, how does Superman shave? Let's just all get on that quote-unquote viral Gillette train.
Yeah, we're having a viral campaign, guys. Pitch in!
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll get into that. Current events, that actually kind of goes into the beginning of my topic. The Microsoft thing, because they messed up. They messed up so hard. They were trying to move into the future with digital delivery and saying, but wait guys, you know those Steam games? You can sell those. That's kind of amazing if they had presented it that way. And they're like, oh, by the way, while you're playing your games, someone you know can also play one of your games at the same time.
That is really cool.
I like
Super
that
cool.
And they're like, oh, but by the way, you need to be online once a day, and we're going to lock it based on your IP range.
Yeah.
So anyone who moves to a different country or something, their solution is bring your 360. Their solution for if you don't have steady internet, buy a 360. They're saying keep using the 360, except in this one optimal solution, you can give us $500 to do this. And then today, Microsoft shat all over it again. They're like, oh, no, wait, guys, no, wait, we're sorry. We fucked up. That's all wrong. Going back to discs, it'll be exactly the same model as the 360. So you buy a disc, you play on the disc, you have the choice to install it, just like the 360. You can trade in the disc. There's no ownership lock or anything. But they're also taking out all the cool features, like the family sharing with the...
I think that'll trickle in.
It might trickle in, but I really hope that we see some of this more digital delivery options coming in, because physical media is a dead end. You can only get so much storage in a physical sense.
Yeah.
My primary problem with all digital, though, is, like, I keep referencing this. An online manga distributor closes down, and then from there, everybody just loses everything. Like, I know major corporations like Microsoft and Apple, it's very unlikely they're just suddenly going to go belly up, but, like, do you actually own what is digital? Can you define that as your own property? Or is that just something you're paid for or renting
you're
space
leasing
on?
it all.
Yeah.
Well, and that's one thing Microsoft actually did address before their Complete 180, is they were saying that when the Xbox One is done, like Major Nelson actually went on record with a fairly straightforward answer, basically saying, like, if and when it came to that, it's going to be very straightforward. It's not a complete requirement. They could, like, flip a switch and have it not need to call home every day.
Huh.
As opposed to, like, something like the new Adobe Creative Cloud, where you pay a subscription, you get... excuse me, I'm a little bit of a cold. You pay a subscription, you get access to these programs. As soon as your subscription's up and you don't renew it, you no longer have access to these programs. So you have the privilege of paying $50 a month for access to the programs that cost a couple $100.
It's not like a 51 fee and then like $20 a month. It's 50 a month.
I believe it is for $50 a month you get access to the entire Creative Cloud, so all the programs.
Okay.
So that does equal out to be like $1,000 or $2,000 worth of value.
But if you only use Dreamweaver,
you can buy individual programs for $20 a month.
Oh,
I don't quote me on the numbers, but there are options.
But
But
I thought of everything.
in the long term, they're still getting way more money.
Yeah.
So much more. It's just kind of ridiculous.
Because after like 10 months, that's how much the program costs.
Yeah. And businesses that need this all the time. They're just going to stay at CS6. There's no reason for them to move to the cloud. It's ridiculous.
The digital frontier is really weird, and I'm not a huge fan of all of it, but it's only because of crap like that I don't like that idea.
Yeah,
It's pretty crappy.
So why bother moving forward if you're just going to screw me as soon as I try and do so?
The golden model that I always point to with digital delivery is Steam.
Yeah.
Because they've done it right. I have no complaints with Steam whatsoever.
Yeah, actually, I'm enamored with Steam. 90% of my game purchases for my PC are through them. The only ones that are any other system online, like Origin, I always have hard copy because Origin sucks, straight up.
Yeah.
Like, my Battlefield and my Tor, they're in my hand.
But Origin is optional usually. You use it to download and install?
Not with a lot of EA mandatory stuff. Like, when you play Battlefield, you have to sign into Origin. When you play Tor, you have to sign into Origin.
That's a little weird. I don't know if it's... No, because I got the digital version of Tor, and I got all that through Origin and everything, but I haven't actually touched Origin since.
You have an Origin account.
I have the Origin account. I bought Tor digitally through Origin, but I don't log into Origin. I just downloaded the game off of the Tor website and log in with my Tor account.
You're probably just too used to Battlefield.
Probably.
Yeah, it might just be a Battlefield thing. But either that's still brutal.
It's going to be the same with Battlefront. We're going to have to erase that issue later.
Battlefront,
yes. Hey, current events. That's a current event.
No, this is like, what system are we buying it on? Because
and
you know me, PC Master Race, and I'm like, oh man, if that comes out on PC. Because if it's anything like Battlefield, I don't know if you guys are going to like it.
No.
But if it's anything like Battlefront, we'll love it.
And if it's anything Star Wars, we'll learn to love it.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess, yeah. But it's difficult because
I played the Clone Wars / Tetris.
It's not like Call of Duty where you can just kind of fumble through a bunch of things until you have enough time spent in something.
Oh, yeah.
As you start getting things for certain vehicles in Battlefield, like Endgame, the last tier of unlocks for a lot of stuff, you really see the difference. Like the helicopter gunship, its last thing is a TV-guided missile. So it's a player-controlled missile that requires no lock-on. You just fire it and then somebody flies it into something. I've seen that thing used when nobody on the enemy team has it to shut down an entire spawn point.
Oh.
That Hilo gunship can do things out of range of anybody else's, like even like an Igla or a Stinger. Like, you can bust open tanks with it. It kills enemy choppers in a single hit, kills planes on runways. It shuts down a spawn point, and it's bad.
Oh, you're saying it's unbalanced?
It's super imbalanced. Some other things are really hard to balance too, but like, yeah, if it's anything like that, you have to devote. They're like, no, if you don't devote time to it, you're screwed. Or you can pay me $5 to get all the unlocks for a vehicle, or you can pay me $30 and get, or no, it's $20 I think, and get all the unlocks for all the vehicles.
Wow,
that's like the new Marvel Heroes MMO, done by the guy who did Diablo 2. Decent game, completely free to play, free to start playing. And
I just gotta fire it up.
The only thing is you start with like 5 heroes to choose from. There's the Thing, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, Storm, and Daredevil.
I actually only saw Daredevil, the Thing, and one other thing. Well, maybe it was the 5. Yeah.
Yeah. There's the 5 to start. You choose one, and then after you're done the training mission, they give you another one as a random drop.
Okay.
And then so you can unlock other heroes through random drops and stuff, or you can give them a bunch of money. Like there's the founder packs were anywhere from $20 to $200. For $200, you get like all the people, quote unquote, enhanced costumes, lifetime experience bonus. Yeah, and it's just friend of a friend actually got the $200 pack, and I'm just thinking like this is a free game that you've now put $200 into.
Well, you're still paying with time from your life because you're working to earn the money to spend it on the game, or you're sitting in front of the computer playing the game to earn the stuff.
The different, like my main issue with that comparison is that when you're working for the money, that's a job. Most people don't enjoy their job. Yeah. When you're sitting down to play a game, if you're not enjoying your game, you're doing it wrong. If you're playing something you don't like just to get further in it, you're probably not going to like it when you're further.
That was me with Rage. I was like, I should probably play a few more levels of Rage. Oh, it's so linear.
I told you. I was like, it's kind of like Fallout, except it's more like hallway out.
Yeah. And the hallway...
Fallway. I don't know. It's bad. It's
Go back
a
in that
straight
hallway
line.
a bit. Okay, now you're back. Come forward. Okay, nope, not anymore forward. Go back. It is pretty brutal.
Oh, back and forth, too? Jesus.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. And it's like, there's this really useful guy with vehicles in this other town. Go talk to him. Drive. Uneventful drive there. And he's like, okay, yeah, I am good with vehicles. Here you go. Thanks, now my thing's better. And then all the scripted sequences on the way back.
Oh.
Oh, a bandit's coming off that off-ramp again.
See, I like scripted sequences on your first playthrough. Like, that's something else I wanted to talk about, is, like, dynamic do-over. I like dynamic gameplay, but you can never recreate those amazing moments, but that's why I like scripted gameplay. But with scripted gameplay, it just becomes so monotonous, so
As long as you're
boring.
not looping back on
Yeah, like, just so quickly, it just falls apart, and that's what bothers me. Like, Call of Duty, the first time you play through the series, the Modern Warfare series, it's really good. The second time, you're not really kind of surprised, but it's still awesome. And the third time through anything, it's kind of just there.
I don't think I've ever beat any of the campaigns on COD. And I don't think I've put more than a couple hours in any of the campaigns.
The first
on COD.
campaign's the best.
Yeah, the first one, it's the most satisfying by the end.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like the sequel milling. Assassin's Creed 3.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh yeah, I beat that recently. Oh man. Talk about anticlimactic. I was like, this entire game just kind of wastes its cinematic moments. Do you... Spoilers, anybody? How about you, Internet? Spoilers? Because Assassin's Creed 3 came out in November of last year?
Yeah, it's not a year, so... I don't know, skip ahead in a few minutes.
Yeah, well... Yeah.
Do you... Anybody?
Put in a person saying how long they should skip ahead for.
Okay.
Skip to 15 minutes and 50 seconds.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
They just waste the death of their main character. Straight up.
Desmond dies?
Yeah. The end of
What
the
the
game.
fuck?
The end of the game. They
Alan,
they're like,
I don't know how far you should skip ahead, but you should have.
like everything good. Like they spend all of Assassin's Creed. It's like Halo 2. They spend all of the third game building up a new bad guy, and then like Master Chief's riding the ship to Earth. It's like, Chief, what are you doing? Finishing this fight, and then an escape pod shoots off the Forerunner dreadnought, and then the rest of the ship blows up. Chief's just dead. It's like, we saved the world from Halo. That's the first bad thing that was going to happen, but now something else bad is happening.
I liked Desmond.
I did too. I loved it, and like it's not even a solid death. It's anticlimactic, and when you kill your last two targets in the Animus, it's very anticlimactic for them. Like Connor kills Lee. They're both pretty fucked up, and he just like shares a drink with him for a moment, then gives him like a bro hug with a knife in the chest. It's terrible. I was looking forward to like all these major things. It doesn't feel like a Revolutionary War is happening at any point in time. The Midnight Ride with Paul Revere that I was expecting, like racing across the hillside, running away from the Redcoats, the British are coming, Yeah, that never happens. I'm Canadian. Even I know that's a thing.
That didn't happen.
I like how you put the loud part of the water pouring during his talking, and then as soon as the water's quiet, we're all like, "Oh, we better just watch this happen."
I can't control
But
water.
like the
man.
Midnight Ride with Paul Revere is supposed to be cinematic, very amazing, very epic, this big ordeal. And what you do is you ride with Paul Revere to a house, hop off your horse, sneak up with no one around, knock on the door, and he goes, "Spread the news. The regulars are marching. Okay, let's get back to the horse." And then you do that 5 times.
Oh wow!
I was like, I'm supposed to be racing across the countryside, and like, what happened to the lanterns? And then I thought back just a few moments, and it's like, okay, he looks at a guy and goes, "Put 2 lanterns in the tower." That's it. I'm like, he's supposed to see those and then ride, isn't he?
Historical game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. It was a
One-
lookout puts the lanterns in the tower, and then he sees them and goes riding through town.
Yeah,
yelling.
like, I don't remember how it goes. It's like 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, or
Yeah.
2 by...
One up by land, 2 up by sea.
Yeah, so put the lantern in the tower. Like, that's it. come on, guys. Like, this is supposed to be terrifying and like amazing. It's just
Hey,
flawed.
do that thing all modern Americans know about. Okay, thanks.
The only cool part of the game was when I was running through Charlestown while the British Navy was shelling it into the ground. So the buildings are just collapsing dynamically around me.
Neat.
Are you sure it was dynamic?
I've died, so it wasn't the
Oh.
same the second time through. And that's another thing. I'm pretty sure the only parts of that game that impressed me were the coding. Like, I think the Aquila, the ship that you get, takes dynamic damage, because at some points in time I found myself missing cannons down half my ship.
Nice.
So I'm like, oh man, I'm just going to totally mess up the rear end of this ship. Why did I only shoot 4 guns? And I kind of like stared on the deck, and I'm like, uh-oh. Look to the other side as I'm taking a turn. Uh-oh.
Well, speaking of scripted sequences, finished Last of Us. Oh, you can... This is the point where spoilers are done.
Okay.
No spoilers from here on.
Bing.
Finished Last of Us, and amazing game. Couple of very tiny nitpicky things. One is, it was addressed by Penny Arcade, I think. It's basically like you're sneaking, you're stealthing, and your NPCs are like, I'll stealth too, run right in front of the bad guys. But they're crouched. And the bad guys are just like, I don't see anything.
Well, at least they didn't have NPCs interfering with your stealth.
And it's a tiny nitpick.
It takes you out of the experience.
Takes you out of the game, but adds to the gameplay. Main other thing, speaking of scripted sequences back then, was that he has an ability that it's hearing, where basically he can just like stop. Well, it's like you press the button, you stop, everything kind of goes black and white, and you can see outlines of people that are making noise, like through walls and shit.
I really gotta fire this game up.
I gotta roll a
I don't want to
check.
unwrap it. I don't want to unwrap it because my pre-order code is just this shitty little sticker taped to the front of my plastic
With
case.
the pre-order code, you have a gun?
I don't know what it does. I can't remember.
You're not the last.
I actually specifically didn't pre-order it, so I didn't get bonuses, because there was stuff like you heal faster, you craft faster. I'm just like, no, I want to play the game the way they made it.
Oh, I don't know what my bonus was from EB.
But,
I'm
yeah.
now.
Paying
I
more?
don't know if I want to use that.
Well, it's you just look it up online what it
Yeah.
was. But what I was saying with the scripted sequences is like you'll sit there, you'll listen around you, and I upgraded the shit out of my hearing to make it long range. So you sit there listening, there's no one there, and then you're like, okay, walk forward a few steps, suddenly guys spawn. Because it's scripted. Because you're like, oh, you reach the spawn gate, there's a bunch of guys there now.
Pop-in spawns, I hate that crap.
And I'm just like, well, maybe they were being really quiet or something, but I know there was no guys there. I know it. I've been through this area, there was no guys there. I reached the gate, and then they rush in through doors that I know there was no one behind before.
What the hell? Where'd you guys come
You
from?
thought you could stealth through this whole game, did you?
Actually...
You didn't think it'd be that easy, did you?
Joe picked up the game for me around like noon on the Friday it came out, and a guy at EB had already beaten it.
Oh
no.
He was just like, I ran and stealth through everything. I'm like, okay, so you didn't play the game then. Because I logged a good, like, 20 hours, I think.
Okay, so
awesome.
How much is it?
Full price game, PS3.
Oh, and you think that's worth 20 hours of entertainment?
Well, I logged 20 hours on first playthrough. There's playthrough plus, there's multiplayer stuff that I haven't gone into.
Multiplayer, huh?
Yeah, there's
Apparently the multiplayer's decent.
There's more that you can do. It's not like, Dark Souls, where I'm getting stomped on by... fucking Seek the Scaleless.
I don't know what that is. Oh, it's that slimy dragon.
He's not actually slimy. He's made of crystal, as I found out.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. I just wasted a bunch of time now by making a new sword. Yeah, so I'm gonna go back.
Is it to defeat slimy creatures? And then like, shit, he's crystal? I had a crystal sword the whole time.
No, it's a magic damage sword, uses fire damage, but it attacks super quickly.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my goal for recording would be every other week.
I'm down for that.
Yeah, we just have... Because today was a total gong show as days go, because usually we would have been recording 2 hours ago.
Just hit me like a week in advance.
Yeah, I gassed up, and my van died, and then we stood around going, I don't know what's wrong with it. And then Alan showed up, And Alan and Mike took care of little old Josh. Mike used his car, Alan used his cables, they charged her up. We got her home.
Don't you worry, little buddy. We'll take care of you, okay?
I really appreciate it, guys. And I had to make sure it's... Other people will know now. And, so yeah, every other week would be really good. More polls. We should... I don't know. It's just... Right now, it's such a small fan base to be like, okay, Friday at this time, Alan and I are going to be playing Injustice. Like, I want to see you guys. I want to know if you guys are going to be there.
Okay, so your homework is show this podcast to at least one other person. If our fan base has not doubled by next week, you have all failed, and I will tell you so.
Even though we're part of that number. So.
Oh man, we should get that clip from Team Fortress 2.
Which one?
If you lose a game, that's what it shouts. It shouts, "You failed."
I can find that really easy. We'll go, like, right.
You failed.
This is for you, if you failed.
You failed.
Heard it twice. Or thrice.
No, because collectively, if our fan base has not doubled, then everyone fails. Punishing the whole class.
Oh, we're...
That's us too. That's teachers. Can you do that? Can you fail it? No. Failing grade for a teacher.
Yeah, but teachers get graded.
Oh no.
So people, some of you need to tell 2 people to cover for the people who don't tell anyone.
That'd be us.
Yeah.
So everyone tell 2 people.
If this is going out to people who listen, Cody, you can't just show Jason. Okay?
Get new listeners.
And thank you, Seamus, for all the work you've done. No one else at the warehouse is listening.
You're a beautiful man.
Yeah, it was so fun having an extra player 4. Like a live player 4.
Yeah, actually, I kind of can't wait for the next interval to roll around.
Yeah, so like every 4th episode, we'll do a rotation through us as hosts, and we'll also get a new guest.
Mm-hmm.
Super awesome.
You
want to dig into questions?
Where's the poll?
Oh, the poll.
Didn't you bring that up?
Yeah, it's on Chrome.
Oh, crap.
Yo, click.
Hey, everyone. Okay, that works.
Where?
Doesn't really matter.
I was like, if we would be super quiet about this, we could actually just cut out all the clicking and post.
We could have.
We still could. Josh.
Can you
work harder?
Can you isolate the clicks and just remove the audio?
If I enhance it.
Enhance.
You gotta use the bullshit device from Blade Runner and see.
Okay, so, previous question is your favorite 80s villain. There seems to be a water jug in front of my eyes.
Seamus proposed the famous best 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he had Hans, right?
Hans Gruber?
Yeah.
Yep. So, what we've got here is a tie for first place between Lo Pan from Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh my god. Really?
Lo Pan is awesome.
Yeah. That actor's awesome.
And tied for first is Darth Vader. Lo Pan voted for by just a ton of people.
I saw a conspiracy right there.
I don't know what you're talking about, all the Tex-Mex and Marthas.
Yeah, that's the family, by the way. It's like the Italian mob rolling into town. Voting the votes.
They fixed Lopan.
So next up with on Darth Vader, Michael, Graham, and Gord. Third place, Jareth the Goblin King.
I couldn't rate
That was like another rig.
Oh, Jareth! Sorry, Jareth. I think I said Gareth. And that's
I'm
Dana
thinking about
and
The Office too. It's okay.
Dana and Josh voted for Jareth.
Oh, I couldn't rate that one. It didn't work.
Not quite. See, you should have gotten your wife's dad or your fiance's dad.
Yeah, no.
That's what clinched it.
Not on my Facebook.
Next up, we've got Cody.
Tie for last.
Oh yeah, it's actually a 4-way tie at 1 vote each. Cody says the Emperor Ming the Merciless from Flash Gordon. Mike says Soundwave from Transformers. I take super minor issue with that in that he is not a main villain. He is a just kind of bad guy, like third in command.
He's not a main villain, but he is on
a-
the hierarchy of the leader of villains, and he's always evil. But
He's also Megatron's right-hand man. Megatron's not shit without Soundwave. Megatron would also be dead if Soundwave didn't haul him off of Autobot City during the movie.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. He tries to save Megatron. Like, he is Megatron's leg to stand on.
And yet Megatron's the leader.
and cassette player.
Yeah.
You figured Megatron at least have the forethought to get rid of the guy who keeps betraying him, but no.
I don't know, because if you have such a bumbling traitor as your second in command, it leaves
Yeah, why
no
not?
room for the smart traitors.
I guess, yeah, actually.
He'd
I-
probably
I-
interfere with their plans.
I never really put it in that perspective.
Because he's like, well, I know you're always plotting against me, so I'll keep you close. Everyone else, they can't get close enough to rule. They're smarter, so they'd win. So I'm just not going to let them in.
Don't have to be smarter
That's
than the
brilliant.
rest of the Decepticons. I just have to be smarter than you.
Yeah. Next up, we have Graham with... Another Graham. With Skeletor, He-Man.
Yeah!
Ooh, actually, Hans would be above. Because...
Oh yeah, Seamus doesn't vote, so it's actually a three-way tie for last. Hans Gruber is tied with
Third.
Jareth for third.
Yeah.
Seamus, vote. You vote on the group, you bad Seamus.
That's Seamus and Brandon voted for him. And then with absolutely 0 votes, we have the Terminator, Mola Ram, Clarence Boddicker, Max Zorin, Dr. Lizardo, and
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan.
The worst man of the 80s? I don't understand.
Yeah, it was mentioned in the comments, and then the guy who commented saying Ronald Reagan ended up voting for, Darth Vader. So I don't know if they're actually the same person or what.
What do you want from us, Gord? What do you want?
Thanks, Gord. Glad to see you're still kind of crazy.
Crazy I can handle.
Alrighty, so
Making it right. Oh, the new Daft Punk album's so good.
it really is. That song keeps getting stuck in my head too.
Okay, my favorite part about Daft Punk is dubstep, I'd say, is at the peak of its popularity.
Mhm.
Everything's got a dubstep remix. Every electronic artist has some wubs. And then Daft Punk's like, here's our disco-infused album. Wham!
Yeah, it's disco and funk. It's awesome.
Fisco.
Dunk,
No, I was on the other.
Dink,
No. It's...
Daft Punk, what are you up to?
Fusco.
We're burning the mother down.
Yeah.
Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daft Punk. I love you guys. I miss you.
Get a tour near me? Never.
Are you touring your new album? Hells no.
Yeah, we just dropped a new album. We'll wait. Aww.
There was some on the radio. They were talking about I think a rapper. His album went platinum, and it hasn't even come out yet. Sold over 1 million copies in pre-release.
Wow. Stupid.
Yeah,
Hip-hop's stupid to me.
I didn't say. I said rap.
Isn't it?
Racist.
It's 2 different things, actually.
Oh my
Rap and hip-hop are actually distinctly different.
Ugh. Okay, whatever.
And with that, that's the end of part 1. Join us for part 2, where we go through our question/topic segments according to our script.
Don't leave, you spoon-faced apple picker.
What?